Well, got rained out, so I think I might start on this beast here. See if I can start getting off of it. Don't know where to start. There's a whole lot of wires down there. Know the radiator's got to come out, so I'll probably spray juice on them. It looks like it might be held into the bottom too, or maybe it's just sitting down there. Been so long since I've messed with this thing. Yeah, there's bolts in the bottom of it. Whew. It's gonna be it ain't gonna be a quick get out, that's for sure. So I guess I'll get started and bring it back. Look at all the pressure. This thing got 80 pounds of pressure. That gauge cost me $125. Oh, back in the 80s, I guess, maybe, when I got that. All the gauges are shot, it looks like. Yeah, the oil pressure's got some. Probably what happened is, I'm guessing that somewhere in there a capillary tube or something got filled up and froze, or I'm sure got condensate into the capillary tube, and then as it froze it expanded it. I would venture to say is what happened to that. I got gas in it too. Hour meter showing a few hours on it, but that was a used one when I put it in there. There's a vacuum line. I probably got a vacuum gauge here. Oil pressure. Yeah, vacuum. That probably comes up to that. Could be a I don't know. It comes up to here. I got no idea on that one. Oh, that's water pressure. That's head pressure there, water pressure. So, well, I'm gonna start pulling it apart, and I'll bring you back when I get tired of pulling it apart. And it might be today, it might be tomorrow, don't know yet. So I'm gonna play around with this for a while. See you in a bit. Well guys, this is about how far I got. I got the radiator out, fan off, starter out, generator out, governor out, or alternator out. So far it's been pretty good. Oh, I guess you can't see any light off. I got the carburetor all unhooked. I got this unhooked, and you know, I have not busted off. Uh-oh, it's starting to rain. Anyway, if I don't get started on it now, I'll show you. I got it so I can put it together real quick and get it watertight. Oh Lord, I think. There, that gets there. I don't know if you even saw that. I guess you might have seen that. Then I'll put the plastic and a mat over top of it. And then I got a couple blocks somewhere over here. Maybe that was just rain coming off of the trees. Anyhow, if I don't stop now, you guys won't get the movie till midnight. It's going on 10 o'clock now. I don't know what time it is exactly. I got a bunch of tools that I want to get out just in case it rains. And the bugs are starting to come on me. That's why I don't work in much light this time of the year. So anyhow, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button, and we'll bring you back tomorrow, I hope. Depends on the weather. Depends on the weather. It's kind of dark out here right now. We'll see ya. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment. We'll see ya. Hi guys. Welcome to Friggin' Jeep. My name's John, and I got a heck of a mess going here. Just one mess after another after another. Today is the next day. I've got this a little further along. I've just been putting along with it. Actually, it just wore me out and I took a break. I guess it's about 2 o'clock now, and I think I got started doing things around 11, which is pretty early for me. I had to crush 1,502,289,403 cans. I counted them, you know that. I should put a counter on that. I watched One-Eyed Custom. He's a very interesting guy, very smart guy. Good channel to go check out. Go there and check him out. He put a counter on his wood splitter, which I always said I was going to do that, but he did it. I said I've been doing it for 50 years, but I never got that far. But it's just kind of, I'm a numbers guy if you watch me from time to time. I thought that was good. Go check out One-Eyed Customs. And I got another, I remember to write down a note. Jack Sanders 7018 said you sure got your money's worth out of that rim out there. Jack, if you know me better, I'm going to get 2 more cents out of it because I put it in the scrap pile and it's going to go to recycle. So I'm going to squeeze every last little penny out of that thing. So I almost got my money's worth out of it. And then I was reading a lot of comments. I did the potatoes yesterday. It's just a waste of time cutting them. They're over there drying out. Gentleman 2015, let's see, John from England was telling me how to do potatoes and this stuff. I know how to do potatoes. I've been doing potatoes for 25 years maybe, and we used to have a couple acres of potatoes out there from time to time, and it just, the last year we did potato, I mean, I have planters, diggers, everything you can imagine, hillers, because he's saying why don't you hill them up. I did hill those up down there, but it was just a bad potato year. And this is the second year we've used last year's potatoes, and I don't like doing that. But when I plant a couple acres of potatoes, you can get new ones, okay, and mix them in with some of the old ones and you'll still get potatoes. But the new potatoes work better than old potatoes. I don't care what they say. And I could get into that, but I'm not right now. But if you guys go back and look at the title on the video was 2015 Big Potato Crop. That was back in 2015, and the potato crops kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger till I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago is when we did the last potato crop. The year before that we didn't get anything. The year before that we got so many, you were picking a bushel every 10 feet. And I think that year I'd cut back to 3 or 4 400-foot rows. Mind you, you're getting a bushel every 10 feet. And these weren't little potatoes, so it has a lot to do with the weather, and just there's a whole lot going on with it. But it was a lot easier then than what I'm doing now, because I could till a 300 or 400-foot row, I guess 300-foot rows. I could till a 300-foot row with a tractor, and so it didn't take that much to do 4 more rows. That was easy. You're just going up and down, riding on the tractor, and all done. Then you take a furrow and run a furrow, or I had a Iron Age potato planter, and that would put the potatoes down real good. I remember one year doing potatoes, and I put them in real late because I bought the potato planter, and I tried it out down there. It was a horse-drawn potato planter switched over to tractor, so they just put a long tongue on it and threw the horses away, I guess. I put in 9 rows 350 feet long down in the field just below the greenhouse, going from where the apple trees are, actually up a little bit from the apple trees, and found everything that didn't work on that particular potato planter. Had a friend then that worked over at NASA in a machine shop, and there were a couple parts and stuff that weren't working. He says, oh, I can make those, so he made those for me. Then we put an acre of potatoes up there where the logs are sitting, where you see me loading stuff. That was a potato patch one year, and Uncle Will up the top of the hill, he came down, and I dug the 9 rows down here, and they were pretty good. They were decent looking potatoes. I mean, nice sized potatoes. So I wasn't even going to dig the row up there. The plants only got this tall. They were the nastiest looking plants you ever saw, covered with potato beetles. So I have a whole acre of them up there. And so it was toward the end of the season. I said, well, I guess I'll go ahead and dig them. And they were put down with the planter, the second planting with the planter. And Uncle Will come down, oh, look at this, is a tomato, this is a tomato, or this is a potato, this is a potato, or this is a this is this. So I dug about 100 feet in that row up there, and I was pulling potatoes out that would not fit in my potato slicer. Okay, you had to cut an inch off the end to put them in the potato slicer, and then they were too big around to go through it because I have one of those make potato slicer things. So I took 2 of those giant potatoes up there to Uncle Will. I said, now Uncle Will, this is how you grow potatoes. Where the hell did you buy those? Where the hell did you get those? I said, there's an acre of them down there. Oh, boom. Yeah, he jumps on his tractor, comes down, and he's sitting there going, oh my gosh. Well, he helped me sell them that year. He worked at Giant Food in the soda manufacturing. I think he was maintenance on the soda machines or something like that. I don't know. This has been years and years and years ago. Uncle Will's passed away many years ago now. Anyhow, he was bringing home 5-gallon buckets, and he would take 25-gallon buckets, 25-gallon buckets of potatoes in a couple times a week over to where he was working. Everybody was buying it for $5 a bucket load. And then they were going to the farmers markets and stuff like that. So, but it was a lot easier running the machinery down there. There's just no room in that, and I've sold all the machinery. I've gotten to where I can't eat carbs. Well, I can eat carbs, but if I do, I'll blow up like a balloon. So I've really tried to cut back on that in the last few years. So where we used to put 12 bushels away every year, and you know, we'd have big family parties and this and that and the other thing, don't use them anymore. So I don't know what's going on in the potato things, but I know how to grow potatoes, and that's what it is. Anyhow, I'll show you what's going on here. I'll show you what wore me out. Okay, I've got just about all this off. All the wires are basically connected to themselves, so that this whole shield will come off. But I don't think that was off when I originally bought the machine. But you have to take these 2 bolts out here, which I've already got them loose. I've only had 1 screw that I could not get out. Everything else has come loose. Well, this is a radiator. The bottom of the radiator was rotted off, so I just picked that up. The radiator's over there. Oh, there's the laziest cat on YouTube. Look at that worthless cat. Nathan, you think you got the laziest, most worthless cat? Oh, it's time to go in. Anyhow, these are the bolts that were wearing me out. These are 1-inch heads on them, and rusted in an irrigation pump. They are working me to death. I've got one out. I've got most of them loose, but those are wearing me out. Then I'll have 2 9/16 to get these supports out. I think I need this out of the way to lift this up out of the way. That's what I'm going for. And I'm going to have to bring up Mr. Lift It to raise that, because it's not that it's too heavy for me. It's just too heavy for me and awkward. I don't think Mr. Lift It will raise that high though, especially not that that's going to make a whole lot of difference, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. And I'm still taking a break because I'm pretty wore out. We're going we're going this afternoon to look at an oak bookcase. The wife wants an oak bookcase, so I'll take the afternoon off and go do that. Here's some of the parts that I've gotten off of it. A lot of parts. Lots of parts. I don't know how I ever made this thing years ago, but it was pretty sophisticated. There's 2 things. I couldn't get this screw here out, so I just cut the wire. And then you can splice it back on, not that that's ever going to happen. One thing that I really wanted on this thing was this piece here. This is a throttle, a veneer throttle, I guess maybe they call that, I don't know. It's not long enough, but the aluminum nut there is galled to that aluminum, and I put a vice grip on it, but I don't want to bite it too hard because it'll screw it up. This has got threads on it, but it just unscrews right there. So I got kind of a problem there, which that annoys me. And the reason I want that is I got this one over here that's now starting to be a rusticated. This is the one that I got that I was going to... Uh-oh, I better let the cat in. You want to go in? Hey, Stinky. She usually just rolls on the ground. Come on. You going in? Yeah, she goes out and creates trouble in the neighborhood. Nah, she never leaves. Very skittish cat. It's a... What do you call it? It's one that adopted us years ago. It's named Jeep because in the back of the boiler barn there used to be a 1970 Jeep sit back there. And when she found us, she was a little kitten. She's full grown now. She's actually about 12. She was living in the boiler back there, and I went back there one time, and she was, oh man, it was the rattiest looking little Jeep, or little cat you ever saw, and my daughter named it Jeep because it was living in a Jeep back there. Excuse me, now I forget where I was at. Oh, this was the one that I got, and it was messed up. This part here, these are some goofy thread. You can't find a thread that size. And I ended up cutting it to get it off. And I figured, well, I'll just get another nut. Well, it's not a standard nut. So the reason for that going on my red lifted thing that goes up is because you got to run it at, you don't have throttle control from the cab, from the back. So anyhow, I think I'm going to take a break from this thing because I'm a little tired on it. Like I said, I got to go get Mr. Lifted to pick this up. I'm going to try picking it up leaving that on there. I'm a little leery of pulling this off because when you pull this off, that's what holds the axle to the frame. So I got a little bit of worrying about that. So there's a few stuff going on. And then I think I might play with this for a while. Got my fan going, turned it off, got the radio going. So that's what's on the agenda for today. We'll see ya. Hi guys, I guess you know where we're at. I'm just trying to see what's going on down here in the bracket department. Trying to get the stand in place. That's about where they should go. That should put me in front of this, below that on the volume, because I'm thinking about putting another hydraulic pump in the back. There's a cam outlet over there. Actually, I got them, but I don't know whether it's for the left side or right side. I think one of those turns one way and one of them turns the other way. If I have to put it in this side, I'd lose my tachometer. So I'd rather have it go on that side. Is what I'm looking for. So that's what. Anyhow, if I put it off the PTO unit down here, okay, that means it wouldn't be running if the drive shaft wasn't running. So kind of, that's what I'm looking at. Anyhow, that puts the hydraulic fluid up high enough, because if your hydraulic has to be pumped, fluid has to be pumped up, it lots of times will cavitate. Don't ask me why. So this is about where, if you can see over on the other side, over here, I was thinking about just welding this on, but that makes it so permanent I kind of don't care for that. So I put 4 holes in here. I came down to put it in. I'll bring them up one inch up here, and then it'll get through there and stay away from the radius on that, and come up 5 inches should be the equal amount, and just put 4 holes in there. 3/8 would hold it. Should be fine. This thing is solid. Then I'm going to put out here in the end. Out here, I guess you're in the end. I can't. Yeah, out here. I'm going to drill a hole in here, 3/8 hole in here, and in the bottom. Come over 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, because this tank out here might want a tendency to shake. So I have a bracket down there. I'll take you off the stand. I got a bracket down here that I can just put something on. It just screw in a piece of angle iron and come up to here would be fine. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. So what I did, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these things before. These are market. The junkyards use them to mark on stuff. So what I'm going to do is mark where I want the holes. So I maybe won't drill them in the wrong spot. I'm not going to measure them. I'm just going to put a little dabby there, a little dabby there, a little dabby there, and a little dabby out here. So I want these holes to be here, 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 here. They got to be marked from the other side because I got to drill them from the other side. but that will mean hopefully will get them in almost the right spot. So yeah, I recommend one of these things. Go on the internet. I think I got these off of eBay or who knows wherever. Market, metal marker, giant size. I'll tell you what, this one here has lasted me. I've had this one for quite a few years, and that stuff will dry, and you got to use a grinder almost to get it off. So that's where this thing's going to go. That'll put the filters on this side. And then if I tee off this, I can go into another suction side over there, I hope. And the pump is going down in that. I guess I might start working on the pump brackets next. But the pump should go down in that area. So that's a nice gravity feed there. You couldn't want it any nicer, I don't think, than that. But if you think I need it nicer, do something else different. Drop me a line, because I'm always interested in having somebody else help me screw up. No, having somebody else put their 2 cents in, kind of. So just give me another idea. Like I said, I like to overthink things. So that's where that is. That's kind of what I'm working on. So I'm going to go up there and drill holes. I got to go get the Mr. Lift It for the Jeep thing. Put some stuff away. Put this away. I keep this stuff with me. And I guess you guys have seen the toolbox. Might have to fit better in this next one down. Got a little bit of everything in there. I have some of these in that I got from Napa. They work pretty good. They're like needlepoint, and they work good too. But kind of recommend that one for big stuff. I use both of them. Getting cloudy. They said it's supposed to rain again this afternoon, so I might have to go cover up that Jeep engine. Just kind of putting stuff away, trying to keep it a little bit in disorder instead of order. That might be a wrench in there that I'm looking for. Nah, we'll leave it there. So anyway, I'm going to take you up to the greenhouse. I know some of you are interested, some of you ain't interested in. I have wood in there that's drying, and just kind of interested update on it. I don't know what today's date is. Sunday, about the 15th or 16th, somewhere around there. So I'll take you up there. I'm going to unload that and put that stuff in the Kubota. So we'll be back in a minute in the greenhouse. Told you to be up there. This isn't going to be very long. This is that oak that I was drying, and that's some of the cherry, like Dan up at back 40 Littlewood or something like that. I was just playing around. I don't even remember splitting that stuff, to be honest with you. Don't remember how I split it, when I split it. But I'm pretty sure it split on a splitter. Or maybe, no, you know what that was? That was the trims. That's sawmill trims, just cut off at different lengths. So this was at 16 and 20%. I don't know, sometime when I split that one open. But this one here, if you notice, it is not quite touching up there, and we're at, okay, 68. Remember that, because I won't. This one here is touching. I think it is touching, but you know what? Watch this now. As I lift up on this, that's going down. So this is gaining weight here, okay? So you're not going to get any drier than this. This is still gaining weight, and it was at 8% and 10% when I checked it. This, okay, 611. It was at, no, that's a 16%. This side was 8%. Okay, but it's down to where it's lost. It ain't gonna, and this is the oak. And if you see here, it hasn't gone all the way up. So it's still sitting at 138. Now we'll go over and look at it. And I gotta, I guess, leave the numbers in there. Oh, I got a pencil over here. Okay, this is a cherry wood. Didn't I have one at 68? Which one was 68? That's 68, okay? So it was at 68 on 6/26. I don't know what the date is. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So we're at 8, let's say 8/15. 8/1/15. It's still at 68. Okay? That was the cherry. What's over here? I guess you can read that. Going the wrong way. This is the other cherry, okay, and this was, it's sitting at 100. It's still sitting right on 100. This is actually it's at 101 right now. So I got a 100-pound, if you can see that, 100-pound right there. So that hasn't changed. Actually, it's gone up in weight. So it's actually at 101. I already forget the date. 8/15. Can't read that, can you? Now the oak was at 138 and still at 138. So that's actually still losing weight. Okay? What were we at? I can't remember for 1 minute to the next. 8:15, I guess. 1:15. It's still at 138. Okay, so this is actually losing weight because the wood is going up in weight, so it lost a little bit even though it stayed the same because it did not go up in weight. Do you follow that? So, as far as I'm concerned, the wood's dry. I haven't popped it to see what the moisture is, and it's time for new wood in here anyway. I've got poplar in here drying, but now I don't want to use that poplar, so I'm screwed up there. So now we're gonna go back and I'm gonna go down and get the Mr. Lift It and try to get that top of the Jeep thing off, irrigation pump off. Be back in a bit. This stupid camera just shut off. I just went through 5 minutes of nonsense here. I got this thing all wrapped up and went and got that. It's about 15 minutes later. I wrapped this around the low side, tied it here so maybe it stay there. This is my bottom part of the third length, and I'm hoping that it'll kind of pick up fairly straight. I put a rag around this so it won't scar that up too bad. Put this on there and have a clamp on there to hold it. It's not really that heavy. I hope to be picking from the bottom and just leveling with the top. Had to go down and get Mr. Lift It. Now I'm going to put you back here. Clouds are rolling in heavy, so now I'm rushing, and then the stupid camera went off. So go figure. I'm glad I checked it, or you wouldn't have been on there at all. Let's see what we got here. Oh, you know, I forgot to undo it. And I'm jammed here, so I can't let it down. There it goes. There it goes. Well, that was real smart of me. But it looks like this might pick it up. I forgot to take the... I loosened these bolts. I think I showed you easier, because that goes all the way through. But it also hooks the frame up. So I didn't want to take them out while things were still ajar until I was absolutely thinking I'm ready to pull it out, but then forgot to pull them. So, like I said, you get the good and the bad here, and goofy too. All right, let's see if we can't do this again. The camera still didn't stop, so something must be better than it was. It's time for a check in here. You guys ain't gonna see the check, but everything looks good. We're gonna go up a little higher, and it's picking up pretty straight. I just don't know how much pickup I got. It's acting like it's binding up. I guess maybe it's just because it's heavier on this side. And that choke cable's gotta come around to this side. I already unhooked it. Now we're looking pretty good. Now we're just going to go up as high as we can go. And then fight it to get it out. It's hitting hoses over there, which is kinked it, but I'm alright with that. I think we're it's hitting hoses over there. Maybe I can get up higher and just go over this. That would be nice. I don't know if you guys are in there. I am out of height, but it's hitting on this leg here. Well, my equalizer didn't equalize too much, did it? There we go. Equalizer didn't equal too much, but Mr. Lift It comes in handy. I can't fit around there, I'm too fat. So we're going to take this and roll it under cover for now, because more than this getting wet, I don't want Mr. Lift It to get wet. Now we can let it down a little bit. My top link didn't work out too good, but the thought was there. So now here's what we got. We got to take, I think we'll take the muffler off first. And then we'll start disassembling this. So anyhow, I'm going to cover up because the rain's coming in. I'm going to take the muffler off. Looks like one bolt must have came out. That bolt there won't. I haven't busted a bolt yet, other than the ones I just showed you, that screw down there that didn't want to come out. But I'll venture to say that's a 7/16. Where's my juice? Got to put a dab of juice on it. I'll put some on there so it won't rust. I'll put some on there, that might come off. Put some more on those. Those big bolts are nasty, but they're all loose. Looking for a 7/16. I know there's one over here. Well, yeah, here's one. And it'll come out because it's nice. Look at that. I don't have a tendency to King Kong stuff on. You know, once it's tight, it's tight. The muffler is shot. I guess you can tell that. Actually, the muffler is probably still good. Here to hawk. But the pipe down below it is shot. So we're just gonna, oh, I guess it is rusted off. I knew it had a hole in it. Anybody want to buy a muffler? This is a good muffler. I think this will go down. Actually, it's the bracket I might want to keep if I, nah. I'm just saving parts right now. Don't know what I'm going to get into. I think I can still cover it up pretty good this way. Might go find me a surgical glove to put over the carburetor. Once again, that's the hole that broke off that's kind of creating a headache. I put silicone in it. And now, to stabilize the wheels on the frame, if we haven't disturbed anything, looks like we didn't, we'll put them back in there. And I kept the washers and lock washers right here handy, just because I thought I might be putting them back on, because I might move this. That one, I forgot the lock washer. Ain't this exciting? Like I said, you're liable to find anything at this place. There's my lost wrench too. Now we'll go over the other side and do it over there. I got to go get the truck ready to go get that piece of furniture shelves that the wife wants to get. But I guess she's going to have to take a, just in case it rains, tarp, because the back of the truck does not have a cap on it. Look at that. These bolts have been on there since, this was 19, I think it's a 19, you know, I wonder if it's the same year as the Apache trailer out there. I think it might go back into the 50s. And these bolts come out of there. They were not, I don't know that I had these out of here years ago when I built this piece. This is hollow in here, so it doesn't matter if water goes in there. The only thing I'm worried about that in that particular spot. Now that looks like the exhaust manifold's is cracked. Looks like it was that way when I put it on. That's too bad. That's a good part of this thing. Proper exhaust removal. All right. Let me see if the tarp can't get over top of this thing now. I don't know, you guys probably don't want to be here for that. This is the fuel line, so that's ready to go. Still got a few more things that I want to take off of it. One thing that I really wanted, which doesn't mean anything to you guys, but I really wanted, and like I said before, was this piece here. I can't seem to get that off. That aluminum is you know how aluminum oxidizes that nut down there, and those are oddball threads. You can't just cut the nut. I did that on that other piece I showed you. But this piece here, I've been looking for quite a few years for this particular bracket. I have this piece in here, and if I'm lucky, I might be able to go in the shop and find that, because I bought a new piece. I'm gonna go in there and just see if I'm lucky enough in all my mess to find that. Probably won't. Make a liar out of me. I don't really remember where I put it. I just remember where I saw it last. Right there. That's the bracket, or that's the oil filter thing. That was the nut I found to put on the top, which is a lug nut off a car, which I might use that instead of what's out there. We'll go out there and I'll probably open that hole up. That looks very restricted. But I want to put a canister type oil filter on it instead of the one that normally comes on those. So that would be the factory. Well, you know, you might not be able to, the clearance there on that nut might not work. I found that nut that would go on there. Huh. Somehow that doesn't look right, because no, this comes up through that hole, so it would bottom out on these. You can't see it, bottom out on these four things. But I found that bracket, but what you couldn't find was this bracket. And you can make it out of a regular piece of stamped angle, but it's got this divot in there to add rigidity to it. This bracket here I don't need, so I'm not going to take that off yet, because that's oil lines to the thing. So that's where we're at. I got to go get ready for rain. I'm gonna put a cover on this. That's where we're this thing always, it's got a timing mark on it when you put it in, so you can't always put it in where you want. So we're getting there. It looks a whole lot different, doesn't it? I think I'll leave that front piece on. Maybe I'll take it off. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tighten those frame bolts up someday. We'll see you. Bye. Well, got home from picking up the stuff that the wife wanted, a bookshelf. I was going to come back here and work on this stuff, but the sun's out and it's raining big time. I don't know whether it's showing on there. I hope the camera's working. I wanted to weld those brackets tonight. Can you see the rain coming down through the trees out there? Maybe I can zoom in. Not that it really matters, but I can't get nothing done when it keeps raining every night. Yeah, I think that's showing it. It's raining pretty good, just enough to make everything wet, sticky, and a mess. So I don't know if this will be the last one. If it is the last one, hit me a like and subscribe, and might need to buy an umbrella. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I don't know if this is steady enough to hold. No, I'm zoomed in. I got to zoom back out. I don't know how to work this camera. You guys know that. Well, I think we're back to normal. Maybe you can see me now, but probably should put it on the tripod. I was just up there, got back, and I ate dinner, and I turned on the video, and I watched a really good video down at Andrew's Lumber. Go down and visit them. And this is especially for Wild Wayne. Okay, it's on setting guides and hammering a saw or tensioning a saw and changing bits, and it was just a really good show. So anybody out there that does circular sawmills and does not know to go down and watch Andrew's Lumber, this is a really good one he's got on. So you better go watch that. So you can hear the thunder in the background. Crazy. And the sun's out. Should be a rainbow in the front yard. I'm going to go check. So go check Andrew's Lumber out. I know it's a little shaky because it's on my hand, and this might be the last one. I don't know. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.